Hello awesome people, welcome back to Paasolo creation video tutorial. In today's video we are going to look at how to design this church flyer in Adobe Photoshop. I promise you guys that I'm going to do this video after that because I couldn't include this one. So without further ado, let's look at how to design this simple church flyer in Adobe Photoshop. Okay, so you see how everything is well arranged here. So if you guys want to get this PSD file to speed up your work and also save some time and earn more money, you my friend know what to do. Check the first link in the description below. Alright, and before we get started, please, if it is your first time you come across this channel, you're welcome, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and not just subscribe, turn on the post notification bell so that anytime we upload a new video, you are going to get notified. Don't forget to like the video, share with your friend, and leave me a comment below what you want to see next on this channel. So without further ado, Ctrl+N to create a new document. I will select A3, okay, and I'll click on create. So from here, I'm going to start to do everything from scratch, okay. So I have these source files that I would like to use in this project, okay. So to start with, I'm going to start with the images that I'm going to use for this project. And by the way, please, I have already removed the background of these images. So if you don't know how to remove a background, please check the links or check the card above or check my page on how to remove a background, okay, using a quick way or using a pen to make a precise selection. So when it comes in, you just double click on the image, or you can click on this to apply the effect or to save changes, okay. So then from there, I'm going to arrange these images on top here, but these ones are too long, so I'll select all of them. So I'll select the first one, and when I hold down the shift key on my keyboard and I select the last one, all of them is going to select. Then I'll right click and I'm going to rasterize the image, okay. So click on rasterize the image, and you see that little thing that was there before, you see this one. So when we rasterize it, those things are going to leave, and you see it is not there anymore, okay. So I'm going to cut some part that I don't need. So this one is too long. Let me cut some parts here. I think it's still even too long. Then I'll also select the next one, and I'm going to cut that one as well. So I'll do this through all the images. Alright, so from here, what I'm going to do next is to arrange the images. This person is the host, and then I'm going to arrange the other pastors around him. So let me make the image small. So I'm going to make them small, and also I will add a layer mask to that. So here is the layer mask. Click on it to add it to it, and you see the layer mask is added. Make sure you have it selected. Then we can select our brush tool from here as well. And then also make sure you have black as your foreground color. Then opacity at the top, you have to have it 100 and 100 for the flow. So from here we can blend this one in, okay. And if you want to take your time to blend in properly, you can reduce the opacity a bit so it blends in slowly and you get it smoothly. All right. So I'll select the other images and apply the same effect, and I'll come back quickly. Next, I'm going to arrange these images like we have here, okay. So you have to take your time to arrange them like how you want them to look like, okay. So I would like to bring this pastor here. Then also I would also like to bring this pastor here, and then also I'm going to bring the musicians on this here, okay. And I'll select all of them, and I'll hold down Ctrl Shift plus the square bracket, the right square bracket, to move that on top, okay. And I can also make it a bit bigger. All right, so I would like to bring our madam here and also bring our papa in the middle. So it's going to be like this. So a man in the middle of the ladies, okay. So from here, all that you need to do is to spend some time to arrange them and also make sure everyone comes as big. So let me make this one big a bit, this one as well. Alright, so here the best thing that you can do to help you is you can use guys. So you can click on Ctrl+R to bring the guys, and then you can click and drag this. Okay, so I'm trying to align this one with these images. Okay, so I'll select this one and this one as well. Okay, so with the guys, it can help you arrange the images as how you want it. So I want this one to be on the same line and this one a little above this one. Okay, so I think something like this is cool. Okay, at your end, I will encourage you to take some time to fine tune in this, okay, to get a better result of this one. Okay, so let me make it small. Making it too big is not going to add any effect. So with this one, the next thing that you are going to do is to use this adjustment we have here. Okay, so you can start with the brightness and you can brighten the images. Okay, so you see it was dark, so let me brighten it, and you can also use the contrast to bring some colors in. And if you feel the colors is too much, you can reduce that by going to hue and saturation and select only the reds, and also reduce the reds in the image. Okay, so let's see before. Undo. This was before and this is after. So you can do this and apply it all over the image. So with this one, let's say I'll go to image, select brightness and contrast, and also increase the brightness, and I'll increase the contrast. I'll select the hue and saturation. Shortcut is Ctrl U, and you can pop the colors. Okay, so for it to stand out. So this was before and this is after. So you have to take your time, go through all these process to make your image better. I'll select this one, Ctrl+L for the levels. Okay, so you see we have levels here. Let's increase the brightness, okay, because the image is a bit dark. Then let's click on OK. So these are the tiny changes that you might need to do. Ctrl+M also for the curves, and we can also boost the midtones of the image. Okay, and then you can also apply some levels and increase the shadows and also increase. So these tiny changes, Ctrl U for the hue and saturation, reduce the reds in the image is because it is too much, and even the yellows is also too much. Okay, so let me see before. This was before and this is after. So Ctrl O to fit everything to screen. Then from here we are going to also add this effect that we have here. Okay, you see this effect. So with that one, I'm going to select my rectangle tool and I'm going to draw a rectangle just like this one. Okay, then with my properties, please, if you don't have your properties panel, go to window and you are going to see property. Make sure it is checked so you are going to see it around. Okay, so with our properties, we are going to use this corner radius. Okay, so we are going to change the appearance of this one. So we can click on, make sure first we don't have this one, check. So here is on check, and then when I click and drag, I'll be able to influence here. Okay, so let me click and drag to influence the appearance of here. So what is the figure? We can copy that and paste it over here. Ctrl V to paste, and we will get the same thing. Okay, so what I'll do next is to duplicate this layer. So I'll click and drag this one to the plus, and you see it is 2 now. Then I'll click one just a little down, and I'll hold down the shift key to keep it in proportion. So you see this is what we have now. So I can select the 2, so you can just click and select both of them, then go to layer, and you are going to see combine shapes. Okay, so we are going to subtract the front one, so we get something like this. Okay, so this is what we are going to get. Let me move this one all the way to the top, so you can hold down Ctrl Shift plus the right square bracket and move it to the top, and boom, we have this effect that we have here. Okay, then from here what I will do next is to bring in the logo. So with the logo, I have this that I would like to use, so I'll click and drag this and that. So move this one here. So So I'll move this one on top here. I can scale it up. By the way, I will leave a link to the source file so you can follow along. And I'll also move this one here. Click on this one to accept changes. Then the next thing is to fine tune in this, okay? You have to make it big to fit and those kind of stuffs. You can select both of them, align to the center, and let's say group this one and say logo. Okay, so I'll select the group and scale it a bit up, and I'm going to bring this one here. So what will follow next is the name of the church. So with the help of my text tool, I can just type in the name. Alright, so from here, I'm going to make this one big, and then I'm going to position this one here, okay? And by the way, I'm using this font called Afterglow, okay? So I would like to position this one here, and let me move these guys a bit back. Then the main name is going to follow as well. Alright, so if you take your time to do this is how it's going to look like at the end of the day. And also I would like to select both of them, and I'm going to change the color to something like this, okay? Then I'll add a percent and also leave a space like 200. So when you come here, you can just type in your space number. So let's go for 200 and click on enter. Reduce the size to maybe 25. Then I'll go for like 300. Control O to fit everything to screen. I can select all of these here and move it a bit up. Select the text as well, and we can move it up like this one, okay? So what we are going to do here is to bring the main theme of the program. So I'm going to type that here. Then I'm going to make it big. And if you notice something, I have been using the same font throughout, okay? So in design, you don't have to be using too many fonts, okay? You have to stay consistent. At least below 3 font, 2, 1, or 3 font is okay. You don't have to use this font, use this font, use this font, okay? We are communicating something, so you have to know what we are doing, and try to portray what we want to show to the world, that this is what we mean, okay? So let me bring this one up a bit, make a copy of this one, and I'm going to change this text, okay? So you can see that I have typed each letter on its own layer, okay? So I can be moving it around, so I can bring this guy here, okay? Just at the top like this. And then I can also position this one a place like this, okay? This is the effect that I'm going to apply to it. Just a small effect, not too much. Let me select the color that I would like to use. So I'm going to use red here. And then I'm going to apply only a gradient on this one, and that will be for the text. So the gradient is going to be the red and hot black. The gradient is from here, then it enters the red and penetrates into the other text as well. And you can also move it around, undo. You can also click on this new to save this gradient and use it later. Click on OK. And we can move this gradient also around if you would like to do so. And when you're done, you can click on OK. Then from here, Control O to fit everything to screen. And this is what we have now. Okay. So 11, adding the date, the venue, the time. Okay. And also we haven't also done the background yet. We will be doing that one at last. But in fact, the white background is even okay. I really love the white background, but I also like to improve it a bit, okay, adding some styles to it. So let's look at how we can do that. So before we add the data, I have to add the theme. So I didn't draw the shape here, so with the help of the pen tool, we can just draw something randomly, okay? So we can type in our theme. So just this what I did. Then you can select the K pen tool and you can be moving these guys around. So if you like to do so, you can do that. Let me undo. So I think something like this is okay. Then when you click on this shape here to make this shape, okay, to make this path a shape. So we can apply this red thing on this one. So we can double click on this thumbnail to open the color picker, make a sample color outside, and then we can add our theme. So with your text, change the color to white and also rotate it to a position that you like. When you click on enter to accept changes. Then we can move on to the next one. With the help of the rectangle tool, we can draw a shape here, and also we are going to try to corner this, okay, so not too much, okay. So I think something like this will be nice. So with this one, we are going to apply this same gradient. So I'll right click and copy the layer style. Then I'll right click and I'm going to paste the layer style. So paste layer style. But with this one, I'm going to, make a slight change. So let me double click on the gradient overlay to open the gradient dialog box. So from here, I would like to open here. I'm going to change this one from the dark black to a bit of red. So I think something like this is going to be fine. Click on enter to accept changes. Then you can click on this new to save it. Click on OK. And I'm going to change this one from linear to reflected. And we can click and drag this one to the center. Click on OK and we can add our date over here. Alright, so before we add our date, I would like to make a duplicate of this. So click and drag this one to make a duplicate. Reduce the size. And also, I'm going to turn off the color fill on it. And I would like to change the color to white. And I'll bring this guy here. Okay. Reduce the size just tiny bit. And let me move this guy a bit here. So what I'm going to do is that with the help of my rectangular marquee tool, I'll make a selection just like this. And then I'm going to hold down the Alt key on my keyboard and I'm going to add negative marks. So holding down the Alt key, so if you just click on this one, it's going to do the opposite way for you. Then you have to come back and click on Ctrl+I. But you can just do it at once by holding down Alt key and click on this one to make a negative marks. Okay, Ctrl-O to fit everything to screen. So with the help of my text tool, I'll add my date and it will be done from here. Change the color to fit the situation, white. And I also like to change the font to Open Sans. Then the date will come here. I just made a duplicate to the down and then I can add the month and the year. Also, I would like to select both of them, move it a bit down, okay, and then I'll make a duplicate of this one on top here, reduce the size drastically, okay, make it small. And also I would like to change the font type or the boldness. So let me use regular for this one. And I can just type in the days. Then with the same process, make a duplicate, change the color, and we can add the time over here. Alright, so at the end of the day, this is how it's going to look like. Then also with the help of the rectangle tool, we are going to draw some sort of lines. Okay, tiny one. Fill it with black, okay. Then I would like to move it a bit down. Then Ctrl J to make a duplicate and move one down. just like this. Okay, then with the help of the rectangle tool again, I'll draw another shape here, and with that one I'm going to change the fill color, okay, to something like yellow type, because the background that we are going to use is going to be like a yellowish type. So let me blend it with this color. Okay, so the rest that I'm going to do here is going to be a test, so I'm going to quickly add that one, and then we can go to the background and we will end this video. All right, so from here I'm done with the test. So what I'm going to do next is to make a copy of this gradient. So copy, select this text, and then paste the layer style. Okay, so paste that, and I'm going to get the same effect on this one. So this is how it looks like with the white background without applying any effect at the background, and it looks very good. It looks very perfect. I don't even want to touch it, but for the sake of this video, let me try to add this background to it to see the effect that we are going to get. Alright, so from here we are going to add the background, so make sure you have this one selected, or we can even put it at the top here. So I'll go to my resource files, which I'm going to leave a link to get access to this and use it for free so you can follow along. So I'll click and drag this one into Photoshop, and I'm going to scale this one up using the bounding box, and then I'll move it all the way up here. Okay, and I'll click on this one to accept changes. All right, then we are going to use a shortcut to move it all the way down. So I'll hold down Ctrl plus the Shift and use the left square bracket to move it all the way down. Okay, then from here, you see this one is already a smart object, so I'll go to filter, blur, and I will choose the radial blur to apply some blur on it. I will leave the blur amount at 50 and click on OK. Alright, so this is what we are going to get at the end of the day. And if you want to change the blur amount, you can come down here and double click on this one to open back to the blur amount. And sorry, the amount is 10, not 50. So when you're okay with it, you click on OK to accept changes. Then from here, I'll reduce the opacity. So when you come here, you can change the opacity to 50%, and boom, we are going to get something like this. Okay, so you see how we are trying to balance this one. Then to complete the balance, I will add a new layer. So click on this one to add a new layer. Then with the help of my brush tool, I will use the square brackets to make it big, and I can make a sample from. So hold down the Alt key to turn this one into eyedropper tool to make a sample color. Then we can use this one to blend with here. Okay, you see how easy that was. Okay, so basically this is what we're trying to do, and we will reduce the opacity back to, let's say, 70, 60. Okay, so you can just type it in, or you can just use the numbers on your keyboard. So when I click on 1, it will turn this one into, so let's say 2 will turn to 20%, 5 will turn into 50%. Okay, so let's use something like 40%. We don't want too much of it. So let me group this one, and let's see, this was before, how dull it is, and how interesting it has become. This is what we have been able to do, and this is what we already done. So you see, we have been able to accomplish everything that we wanted to do. So the last thing that we are going to do, or I will leave you to do, is to add the names of the pastors and the staff. So we have to add them, okay, so that they can be known. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure you give me a like on this video. Leave me a comment below if you want to see more content like this. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And not just subscribe, turn on the post notification bell so that anytime we upload a new video, you are going to get notified. Until next time, keep creating and never give up. Bye for now.